Hey y'all, welcome to the Mindfulness webinar. I am Autumn Benson and I'm the Garrett College coach here at Southeastern. And I just wanted to take us through a little lesson on mindfulness and some practice at the end. So mindfulness may sound very foreign to you, or you've heard it a lot and it doesn't mean very much to you. You don't really understand what it means. A lot of people think mindfulness is having some sort of formal practice that's like hours of meditation a day, like you're a monk sitting on a hill meditating, but that's not true. Well, that can be useful to have a formal practice, but that's not what it is. Mindfulness is just training the brain to be present and to be aware of what's going on. Our most precious resource is our attention. So how are you using your attention? And is it benefiting you? Is it sustaining? Is it, life-giving? Mindfulness is just all about stepping back and being aware of what is happening and accepting it without any judgment, which can kind of be hard to do, but we'll walk through that. Because most of our energy is spent focusing on what we have to do next, what we have to get done. Our minds are just spinning on all these things. We overwhelm ourselves a lot, or we are just stuck in the past, thinking about things that we should have done differently. But this is where anxiety really kicks in. Anxiety is just a warning flag that we are not in the present moment. We are either spinning in the future of what ifs or worst case scenarios, or we are stuck in the past, spiraling in our mistakes, in guilt or shame. Or we're just thinking like, I should have done this or I should have said that. We tend to like should all over ourselves. We always have this list of things that we should have done or ways that we should be better. We should be at this place by now. But mindfulness just brings you back into the present moment without that critical voice or without self-judgment, which may sound hard to do, but it just takes practice and you can get there. I know you can. But it's all about accepting what is, because you can't change the past and you can't control the future. Control is just an illusion, and we all want to try to control our future because we're getting anxiety. We're afraid of what's going to happen because there are so many unknowns, which can be scary. But the truth is we can only control how we show up and how we choose to act throughout the day. We can't really control anything else, especially anything outside of us. Mindfulness doesn't have to take long to figure out, nor does it have to take an hour more a day, like I said. This is all just about filling your day with moments of mindfulness, moments of interrupting your activity, your judgment, or your spiraling thoughts. So it's all about just noticing when you are spiraling in your mind, because you'll be able to tell. You'll know when you're in your mind, when you're lost in your thoughts or negativity, the what ifs, what you have to get done. You'll just learning how to notice that and taking a moment to notice, be aware of it, accept it, and let it pass without judgment. That you're okay, and it's okay that you're having these thoughts, but your thoughts are not you, and your thoughts do not control you. They do not define you. So you get to just accept it and let it pass. If you can reframe your day and moments, you can reframe your life. For example, if you wake up knowing that you may run into disagreeable people, or there may be people who are different from you, they just might disagree with you. And knowing that there's always going to be something to do, there's always going to be something to get done, it's easier to start accepting it. And that will start giving you some more patience for yourself and for others. And you get to have a better relationship with your own personal journey. You get to change your relationship to what needs to get done. One of my favorite reframes, because I get caught up in business and things that I need to get done. So I learned the one, I have so little to do and so much time, or I have so much time and so little to do, instead of always thinking that I have so much to do and so little time. If we can start reframing it, then that can, bring that awareness, but also help us change our relationship to the things that we need to get done. Problems and chaos are guaranteed in this life. There's always going to be something going on. There's always going to be a problem we have to solve. And when we can accept that, it makes it easier for us when those things happen. So you can either choose to tackle these things head on by being mindful and accepting it, or you can choose to numb out, distract, or avoid, whether with that scrolling on social media, watching TV, watching movies, eating food, whatever it is. We all have a way that we tend to avoid or distract or numb out, so we don't have to deal with any emotions or stress that's happening in our lives. And part of mindfulness is knowing that you can learn from every situation. So you get to ask yourself, how can I learn from this? Because there is a lesson in every single thing that happens in our lives. And you get to set your intention for every single day. You can ask yourself, how can I be more intentional today? What do I want to feel today? Do I want to feel happy? Do I want to feel connected? Then you can start making decisions from that place. If you set your intention from the start and be mindful of that, then throughout your day, whenever you're faced with a choice, you can ask yourself, is this going to bring me closer to my intention, or is it going to take me farther away? And that makes a world of difference. And then you can also ask yourself, if there is something that happens that you kind of react poorly to, you can say, how can I be more intentional to not create this in the future, to create this stress or this problem? And be clear on what truly matters to you. That helps you clear out a lot of the clutter in your day, in your mind. When you start to be clear on who you are and what you value, things will be less meaningful, like how many likes you got on Instagram, the acceptance of other people. Those things will just start to fall away because you're being true to what you truly value. And the time to develop a really strong mindfulness practice is not when you need it. The time is now, when life is normal, even though there hasn't been really a normal for a while, but you don't need it only when something horrific happens. This is part of building resilience, so when something bad happens, you are more prepared and can handle it better. Because there will be horrific things that happen to every one of us, and there will be times when our stress levels are through the roof. But you can either invest time in preparing for that now, or you don't, and then it happens and you're far worse than you would have been. And mindfulness can happen when you are alone or when you're with other people, which may seem hard to do, but as you practice this, it'll get easier to do when you're with other people. So, for example, you may be with someone, with a friend or someone else, and they kind of trigger you, or they make you angry, they make you sad, they upset you. You can turn inwards and, ask yourself, why did this trigger me? Why am I feeling so triggered? Why am I feeling so angry? Why am I feeling so sad? Where's there truth in what he or she said? And the more that you can take the time to observe and notice what you're feeling and how you're reacting, the more you'll be able to shift it in the future. So you can take a moment instead of reacting. If someone kind of triggers you, you can take a step back, and it doesn't have to be out loud. You can breathe. You can stand there and just breathe on your own, or just in your mind tell yourself that it's okay, that there may have been some truth in that it's not reflecting you. This person may be having a bad day, whatever it may be, and knowing that also hurt people. So it could be someone who's just wounded or hurt themselves. And when you take the time mentally to just stop, be aware of what's going on in your body and in your mind, and take a moment to breathe, that's all about mindfulness. And that's how you can integrate it with when there's people around you. Mindfulness helps you lean into the discomfort of our emotions, and without judgment, of course, and creates a space for you to respond with compassion to yourself and to others, rather than reacting from that emotional place. So emotions can be super uncomfortable. A lot of times we're taught to just avoid them. We don't know how to express them. So that's part of mindfulness, is getting more comfortable with our emotions and actually expressing them. So if you need to cry, it's crying. If you're angry and you need to scream, or scream into a pillow, or punch a pillow, it's letting it out and creating space for that. Like I said, without that judgment, because it's completely okay. You're a human having a human experience. Emotions are natural, they are normal, and they are healthy for us to express. And the more you accept that and practice that, the easier it'll get. Meditation, I know I've talked about this before, is a powerful mindfulness tool, and maybe sounds a bit woo-woo to some, but it can feel nearly impossible to do, especially since we are so busy and we are always up in our head in our minds, and our minds are always just spinning with so many thoughts. There's just always chaos there. And meditation isn't completely turning off the mind. It's about noticing every single thought that enters the mind. It's greeting it with compassion, with acceptance, and letting it pass, which can all just sound like, oh, that sounds all good, but I can't do that. But trust me, you can. It just takes practice. Like anything, if you play a sport, it takes practice to get better. And this kind of practice just builds so much resilience for the rest of your life. So it's coming in with that compassion. If you're sitting there trying to just be still and meditate, whether you're doing it in silence with music or you're listening to an app or some audio that's guiding you, there's going to be thoughts that come in, and it's being like, okay, I noticed that thought and thank you for coming up, but I don't need you right now, and letting it pass and coming back to your breath is one of the most powerful ways to do that. And like I said, it doesn't have to be an hour of meditation. It can just be a few minutes throughout the day where you just take a moment to be still, to breathe, to acknowledge what you're feeling, what's going on in your mind, and then letting it pass and not dwelling on it. And like I said, it can be a few minutes, or you can build up to 10, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. If you get to an hour, that's amazing because there's so many benefits to that. But even just 5 minutes a day has massive amounts of benefits. There's no one size fits all type of meditation. It just takes practice, and you just build it in through moments throughout your day. Breathing is one of the easiest ways to bring yourself back to the present moment, to slow down your thoughts and to ease anxiety. So we are just going to take a few moments to practice some breathing, which sounds funny because we come into this world breathing. So it's something we kind of unlearn as we grow up, but it is really powerful and really can center you, slow down your heart rate, especially if you're have anxiety or maybe even experiencing a panic attack. But breathing is just such a powerful tool of mindfulness. And I don't know if you've ever heard of box breathing or four-square breathing, but this is a simple thing that you can do. You can do it when you're around other people. It's not super noticeable, or you can do it when you're alone and can take a moment to sit, be still, and actually like close your eyes and tune into your body, into what's going on. So I'm going to start a little bit of music in the background. Then we'll get started. So this box breathing is breathing kind of in the shape of a box, so you can picture it. So you will be inhaling through your nose for a count of 4, then you'll hold it for a count of 4, then you'll exhale through your mouth for a count of 4, and then you'll hold for a count of 4. And then we'll just repeat that through a few times. You can do this 5 to 10 times. You can just do this even if it's just for a minute throughout a couple times throughout the day. You'll notice the benefits right away. So we'll get started. If you are in a comfortable spot, that'll be much better, whether you're in a chair, sitting upright, sitting on the floor with your back against the wall, or if you're at your house and you want to lay down, that's fine too. So you just get comfortable. If you're sitting, get both feet on the floor. I really like to do breathing with a hand on my heart and one hand on my stomach to make sure that I'm breathing deeply into my diaphragm and into my stomach, because we all breathe shallow and don't actually fill our lungs fully. So when you're inhaling, make sure you are filling your belly first and that your belly is expanding, and then you fill up your chest, and then you slowly exhale. So here we go. We are going to inhale through our nose for a count of 4. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. Hold for 4. And inhale for 4. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. Hold for 4. And keep going at your own pace. Inhale through your nose. Hold. Exhale through your mouth. Hold. All right, we'll do one more. All right, give me one deep inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Whew, you can kind of shake it out. I hope that felt relatively easy to do. It's kind of weird that breathing can kind of be a challenge, but you'll notice how shallow you breathe when you actually start breathing a lot deeper. You're getting a lot more oxygen to your brain and to the rest of your body, which helps you slow down, slow your heart rate, helps you concentrate and focus a little bit more. So let me know how that went for you. Turn off this music. And let me know if you need any help or support around this, or if you want even more breathing exercises. You can download a lot of meditation apps and even watch some breathwork videos. I was following, we were listening to I don't know if you can see this, a binaural beats playlist on Spotify. Binaural beats are really good at helping you kind of focus and meditate and get centered and build your mindfulness. I like listening to it before going to bed some nights, especially if I have a stressful day. If I can just lay in my bed and breathe for 5 or 10 minutes while listening to a meditation or the binaural beats, it really helps de-stress me for the day and calm my mind, which helps me sleep and get more restful sleep. So let me know how it goes. Awesome job. Thank you for watching this. Feel free to email me, abenson@se.edu, and just let me know how it goes if you need any more help. Thank you guys. Have a good day.